Attention, Somerset. I am Star Colonel Nikolai Malthus of the Jade Falcon Clan. A full trinary stands ready to conquer your planet. What forces dare oppose us?
Is this some kind of joke?
You dare to refuse my bajal?
Refuse your what?
Prepare to feel the wrath of the Falcon's claws.
The clans have a ritualistic way they engage in combat. They despise waste, particularly of the war material. The clans engage in a process called bidding. This leads to the least amount of war material being at risk to accomplish the goal. Clan commanders argue or compete with one another to see who can claim victory by using the least amount of material. This process begins at the commander's entire force. Parts of the force are then removed from the bid, or bid away, in effort to win the bid along with the right to engage in glorious combat to bring glory to the clans. In this campaign, we are using BV2 via Master Unit List or Megamech. Submissions of bids will be through private Discord channels on the server. There will be a real-time gap between the first and second bid for each wave. Bidding is not going to be live. Our work schedules and time differences prohibit live bidding for us. Submissions are sent through Discord via private channels compiled by the lore master and then separated into multiple tiers based on the number of players, then posted for all to see where they landed in the bidding. A typical wave will be separated as follows. Tier 1 are the top bids, the highest prestige and glory ranking available for the wave. Tier 2 is middle tier. This is where the bulk of the bids will fall. This may have one or more separations inside the tier. Tier 3 is the bottom tier. Bids that land you here have a battle value cap instead of actual bid values. A bid is considered tied if it is within 100 battle value of another bid. Ties are resolved through total weight of the force. If the bids remain tied after resolving tonnage and then going back to the precise battle value bid, the commanders involved, or tied, will bid again, only against each other. This does not affect the order of the other commanders outside of the bid, regardless of how low the bid goes. Players have an incentive to run a full formation, whether it be a star, binary, or trinary. They are rewarded in using full formations with nothing extra in the form of 500, 1000, and 1500 battle value credits. Megamech dislikes ground vehicles immensely. Aerospace fighters spend time off of the active map turning around. If players choose to use a vehicle point, which is a matched pair or unmatched pair of vehicles, they are given an incentive of 2,000 for ground vehicles, 2,600 for aerospace for a matched point, 1,400 for ground vehicles, 2,000 for unmatched vehicle point, or if they choose to use a solo vehicle, 500 for either a ground vehicle or aerospace fighter. When fielding battle armor points, you gain 150 battle value credit. Fielding a Nova properly requires 3 Nova points minimum to get the credit. The nuances of a Nova require a little bit more explanation. A Nova is an Omni-Mech or Omni-Vehicle with mounted battle armor. If you run 5 of these, you get the full star bonus, plus you get 5 iterations of the Omni point bonus. If you run 4 of these, you no longer get the full star bonus, but you do get 4 iterations of the Omni point bonus. Now, you could run the 5th point as a vehicle point, as another squad of battle armor, as another Omni, as another battle mech. Doesn't matter. You just have to have 4 of these, and then you get 4 Nova points. You do the same thing with 3, and then fill in your other 2 points with whatever you want them to be, but you only get 3 points for the Nova. If you run 3 Omnis and 2 Battle Armor, or 2 Omnis and 3 Battle Armor, you can get the full star bonus, but you only get either 2 or 3 points of Battle Armor, and you don't get to count these as a Nova because you have to have a minimum of 3 Omni points to count as a Nova. This Nova right here is the minimum requirements to gain 300 battle value per Nova point. If you do anything less than that, you don't get the Nova point, but you do still get to count the battle armor point. Now you'll also notice that I don't get to count the Nova point and get credit for a battle armor, because the Omni with battle armor counts as the Nova point. If you bring mismatched Omnis and battle armor, then you can throw in the battle armor points. You can at any point in here exchange one of these Omni mechs for a pair of Omni vehicles. If you run a pair of Omni vehicles, only one of them has to have mounted battle armor to count as the Nova point. You may run your Omni vehicles as either both having battle armor or only one of them having battle armor. In either configuration, they count as a Nova point, but it only counts for 300. So if you choose to run the other battle armor as the same point because they're mounted on an Omni, totally fine, but you're still only getting 300 points. Now, in order for this over here to count as a full Nova, so because you have all 3 Nova points, paired Omni vehicles with both mounted battle armor, pair of Omni vehicles, one of which has mounted battle armor, and an Omni mech with mounted battle armor, you have 3 iterations of a Nova point, and therefore get to have the Nova bonus.